My first IOC passage is from chapter 1, the first 15 lines of the book. This passage is at the beginning of the book. This sets the tone of the book and one of the main themes of the novel, gender equality. Hurston explains that men have a better chance for their dreams to be attainable. Women, however, only have the dream and they can't go to the horizon to get their dreams/be successful in a very male-dominated society. Hurston uses this as an indirect characterization of Janie and foreshadows how Janie will reach that horizon. We learn that at the end of the book, Janie does not reach the horizon but doesn't come back with it. However, she comes back to Edenville with wisdom, freedom, and confidence, aspects of her character that she don't have before. This, in some ways, is still reaching that horizon. Her horizon at first was to find true love, but she comes back with these different aspects of herself. Hurston wrote the book primarily using African American vernacular English, especially when characters are talking or thinking. However, in this passage, the whole passage, Hurston writes in normal speech. She uses motif, imagery, and metaphor to create exposition into Janie's character. The motif of the horizon, the metaphor of the ships, and of course Janie's journey to the horizon. This passage characterizes Janie because she does things to get her goal, finding true love. However, she breaks the gender norms and goes to the horizon. For my second IOC passage, I will be doing a passage from chapter 1, and it was the time for sitting on porches beside the road. It was time to hear things and talk. These cities had been tongueless, earless, eyeless conveniences all day long. Mules and other brutes had occupied their skins. But now the sun and the boss man were gone, so the skins felt powerful and human. They became lords of sounds and lesser things. They passed nations through their mouths. They sat in judgment. Seeing the woman as she made them remember the envy they had stored up from other times, so they chewed up the back parts of their minds and swallowed the relish. They made burning statements with questions and killing tools out of laughs. It was mass cruelty. A mood came alive. Words, walking without masters, walking together like a harmony in a song. Hurston, from lines 1 and 2, she sets the setting of the passage. The sun is setting and is getting dark. This is in some ways can be a pathetic fallacy, as since the sky is turning dark, the poor sitters, as they're portrayed, are getting darker thoughts about Janie because they're judging her. And from lines 11 to 15, Hurston especially says this as they make burning statements with questions and killing tools out of their laughs. From lines 3 to 6, Hurston alludes to the sitters by using animal imagery to express how they have worked hard all day. This is a metaphor to slavery, as slaves were used as animals and they worked all day in the sun, and only until the boss man or the white man went inside could they relax and talk about the daily activities. Hurston also uses biblical references from lines 6 all the way to 15. She uses this to set the mood for the scene with hurtful imagery. Also, she uses personification and simile to further the biblical references she used. From lines 6 to 9, they became lords of sounds and lesser things. They passed nations through their mouths. They sat in judgment. The line "they sat in judgment" in line 9, Hurston is alluding to how God sets judgment to others and sends them either to hell or heaven. And the portraits are judging Janie for what she is wearing and how she looks further on in the chapter. And you can tell they are condemning her to hell, you can say, because Hurston says they made burning statements with questions and killing tools out of laughs. It was mass cruelty. A mood came alive. Words, walking without masters, walking together like a harmony in a song. My next passage for the IOC is from chapter 3. There are years that ask questions and years that answer. Janie had no chance to know things, so she had to ask. Did marriage end the cosmic loneliness of the unmated? Did marriage compel love like the sun of day? In the few days to live before she went to Logan Killicks and his often mentioned 60 acres, Janie asked inside of herself and out. She was back and forth to the page, continuously wondering and thinking. Finally, out of Nanny's talk and her own conjectures, she made sort of comfort for herself. Yes, she would love Logan after they were married. She see no way for it to come about, but Nanny and the old folks had said it, so it must be so. Husbands and wives always loved each other, and that was what marriage meant. It was just so Janie felt glad of the thought. For them, it wouldn't seem so destructive and moldy. She wouldn't be lonely anymore. In the first line, Hurston uses a metaphor for as you get older, the more wisdom you gain and the more you know of the world. Since Janie's still young, she's only still 16 in this point of the book, and still is naive of the world around her. She asks questions such as, did marriage end the cosmic loneliness of the mated? Did marriage compel love like the sun of the day? These are rhetorical questions for herself to find out, does marriage compel love like the sun of the day? Hurston also uses natural imagery and natural metaphors to make the link between Janie's quest for love and also Janie's quest for love and also the poetry, the sun, and Janie growing as a person, as a character. From lines 9 to 12, it's yes, she would love Logan after they were married. She'd see no way for it to come about, but Nanny, the old fool, said about it. She trusts Nanny and believed that this could be her poetry. Again, relating back to the motif of the poetry and using natural imagery to expand Janie's naive idea of love.